Welcome. This is the Philip Koerper Show. I'm Philip Koerper. This is episode 45, October 4th. Got a great show for you today. Very exciting. Mitch McConnell and gave a report in the Senate. It looks like they're going to vote tomorrow. Full up and down vote tomorrow. Some people have said Saturday. I'm not quite sure about when the full Senate will vote to either confirm Brett Kavanaugh or to not confirm him. Lindsey Graham says that if they do not have the votes to confirm him, they should try again. So do it after the midterm election, have it be a Republican rallying cry, and to try to confirm him again. I love Lindsey Graham's enthusiasm. He is really literally been on fire and has been fighting the hardest for Brett Kavanaugh. Who would ever think that Lindsey Graham, milquetoast Lindsey Graham, super mellow guy, only just kind of got excited with John McCain and always trying to get either President Obama or President Trump to fight another war. Who would think that Lindsey Graham, Mr. Mello, would be so fired up for Brett Kavanaugh? And so, of course, the FBI report has been done. The Democrats and Jeff Flake asked for this further FBI investigation. They interviewed the other four people who were supposedly in the room by Christine Blasey Ford. I mean, it's amazing that Christy Blasey Ford's story has really gone this far. A story without any evidence, a story that happened in the early 1980s, a story that happened when she was 15 and Brett Kavanaugh was 17. Really, truly amazing. I think Chuck Grassley has been trying to be as fair as he can. And then Jeff Flake asked for more time. So all of this theater, remember this started when President Trump nominated Brett Kavanaugh. And Chuck Schumer, the Senate Minority Leader, immediately responds, I'm going to vote no on Brett Kavanaugh. And I encourage all Democrat senators to vote no. I mean, he was a bully. Even Joe Manchin lashed back at him. Joe Manchin, the Democrat senator from West Virginia, lashed back at him like, heck no, I'll let me decide. I'm not going to just vote no. So the Democrats have just been #resist. No one on that Senate Judiciary Committee on the Democrat side of the aisle was going to vote yes for Brett Kavanaugh. They've all said no. So this big, huge hearings, and I mean, this is such drama. It's so fake. This is all just for one thing. This really just boils mainly down to 6 or 7 to 8 senators. Okay, the 3 Republican senators who were on the bubble: Jeff Flake, Lisa Murkowski of Alaska, and Susan Collins of Maine. Then the 3 Democrat senators are Joe Manchin, Heidi Heitkamp of North Dakota, and Joe Donnelly of Indiana. Those 3 Democrats voted for Neil Gorsuch. So it looks like, and they're in heavy Trump supporting states. And so, as a matter of fact, Heidi Heitkamp in North Dakota is behind by 10 points. She is a sitting senator up for re-election against her Republican challenger. So all of this show is really, because if the Republicans can get those 3 votes if all the Republicans vote for Brett Kavanaugh, he's in. That's 51 votes. Okay, Democrats just have 49 votes. And if 1 votes no, then he's still in because Mike Pence will break the tie. But if 2 say no and none of the Democrats say yes, then all the Democrats vote no, then he's doomed. Okay, he will not be confirmed. And so what do we have going on right now? Mitch McConnell spoke in the Senate and says, okay, He's very qualified. His accusers have no evidence, no corroborating evidence. They have none. And even the ex-boyfriend of Christine Blasey Ford came out with a letter saying that he used to live with her, that they lived in a small flat, so her claustrophobia thing, that she's got to have two doors for an exit, doesn't hold up, that she's afraid of flying in airplanes. She lived in Hawaii. Who would live in Hawaii if they're afraid of flying in airplanes? I mean, it's the only way you can get between the islands to the mainland for the most part. And they flew in small little airplanes, propeller airplanes. Okay, so that was a lie. There's such holes in her story. And also the story of this boyfriend, and this is uncorroborated, but he says also that she was helping someone else pass an FBI polygraph test. Okay, apparently that's really bad. Okay, and she denied when Rachel Mitchell asked her about that, which was a weird question on last Thursday. She denied that. She said never. So anyhow, Christine Blasey Ford, where are her parents? Where are her friends? No one will stand by her side. This ex-boyfriend said that she cheated on him and then he left her and then she had a credit card and was using that. Who knows? I mean, of course, these are unsubstantiated stories, but everything she has said has been unsubstantiated, uncorroborated, not proven. Not proven. Okay? So anyhow, Chuck Schumer says that her testimony is better than Brett Kavanaugh's, and so we should just believe her. That American people really liked her testimony. We should just believe her. Believe her without any evidence. Okay. 35 years older, she just makes all these accusations. And I guess he's guilty? He's just guilty. That's what Chuck Schumer said. I mean, that we should just believe her. This is the most crazy thing ever. It's really incredibly crazy. And Mitch McConnell's really depressed. So the Senate is just at odds with each other. And, it looks like winner takes all, right? If you've got the majority in the Senate, it's winner takes all. You run the Senate, okay? And so that's why Mitch McConnell delayed the Merrick Garland thing, because the Republicans ran the Senate. The election was pretty close. Why not let the people decide? It's happened before. It's not the first thing that time that's ever happened. I've mentioned before that 22% of the people nominated for the Supreme Court never make it, never get confirmed. And 70% of the 22% never even get a hearing, just like Merrick Garland. So anyhow, hopefully we've got the votes. It's looking really pretty good. Senator Flake, oh boy, Jeff Flake. Oh, I tell you, this guy is so frustrating what's happened to this guy. He used to be my favorite politician. He was so conservative, so libertarian when he was in the House of Representatives. He said he would only run 2 terms. Well, he lied and he ran 3 terms. And then when John Kyle stepped down as a senator in Arizona, Jeff Flake ran and won and then turned into a complete liberal. I just really went left. And so anyhow, I don't know what he's doing. Chuck Schumer blamed the Republicans, denied any culpability for delaying this thing out. And we know the way Dianne Feinstein, I mean, he is lying. Dianne Feinstein sat on this report, went through the whole hearing process, personally interviewed Brett Kavanaugh, said nothing about this Christine Blasey Ford letter, and then just leaks it at the very end. As a matter of fact, the Republicans are looking into who leaked her letter. Christine Blasey Ford says she didn't leak it, and she gave her letter just to the representative in California and Di-Fi, senator of California. Okay, so one of those 2 people leaked it, okay, and then put all this pressure on Dr. Ford. And so the Democrats apparently just used Dr. Ford just to get at Brett Kavanaugh. Whatever they could do to try to get Jeff Flake or Susan Collins or Lisa Murkowski to vote no. I mean, whatever it takes. uncorroborated accusations from 35 years ago. You cannot defend yourself against this. It's impossible. There's no alibi that he can give because we don't even know date, time, or place. I think President Trump is hilarious on how he's bringing this up now. The only thing she remembers is one beer, but she can't remember date, time, place, how she got there, how she got home, but she remembers Brett Kavanaugh and one beer. Okay, and parts of her story don't jive. Being in the bathroom with the loud music and overhear the guys laughing. Very confusing, very hard to believe a lot of this stuff. No evidence. How can we believe this? So anyhow, I'm so glad that the Republicans are sticking with Brett Kavanaugh, and Donald is also sticking with him. I think that's awesome. And watch him turn out to be not very conservative. I am a little concerned with him when he puts, all 4 of his clerks are females. I mean, there are no males who are up for the job. I mean, he was bragging about that. He'll be the first Supreme Court justice, if he gets confirmed, that has 4 of his clerks, 4 out of 4 are females. He's bragging about that. I don't know. I don't think their gender should really matter. I think he should get the best clerks he can get. But anyhow, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. I still have a lunch riding on this. I think I'm still going to win. Lunch at McDonald's. I think I'm going to win, but we'll see. So what's the latest? Jeff Flake now is looking like, who knows? He's flaky, but Flaky Flake looks like he's going to vote yes now. It looks like he's satisfied that we had this FBI report. This is just so dumb. And then it looks like Susan Collins is going to vote yes. So that leaves Lisa Murkowski. Okay, so if Lisa Murkowski votes yes, it's a done deal. Okay, actually, if Jeff Flake and all the other Republicans and Susan Collins will vote yes, it's a done deal. Lisa Murkowski can vote no. Mike Pence will break the tie, and we're in. That's if all the Democrats say no. We do have a chance that Joe Manchin will go yes. Heidi Heitkamp in North Dakota, she says she's going to vote no. So she's 10 points behind in North Dakota. She's voting no. So we don't have her possibility. We've got McCaskill in Missouri who might vote yes. And you've got Joe Donnelly in Indiana, a Democrat senator who might vote yes. So anyhow, it's looking pretty good for Brett Kavanaugh. Oh, what an ordeal. What an ordeal. I tell you, the Democrats will do anything. They will do anything to try to get their way. Lindsey Graham is totally right. Okay, to stall this thing out past the midterms has been their modus operandi from day one of this nomination process. Some of them have been actually quite honest about that. #resist. And the yelling and screaming they're doing, I love how Mitch McConnell said, we're not going to be bullied. They were yelling at him. I think he was at an airport. I mean, people yelling and screaming at people. I mean, unbelievable. So, President Trump's poll numbers, 50%. He's up to 50% approval of the Rasmussen poll. 50%, 49% disapprove. Whoa, this is totally awesome. 50% approval rating for the President of the United States is incredible. I think Donald has done a great job. They say he was mocking Christine Blasey Ford. He is just repeating. He is talking about how little credibility she has. Okay. I love it when Donald is Donald. I mean, this guy is a fighter. And I love it that he's fighting for his nominee, Brett Kavanaugh. That's his pick. It's not a job interview. Donald's already picked who it's going to be. It's Brett Kavanaugh. Now advise and consent. So the Senate's either going to say yes or no. I had a friend who was asking me about doxing today. This is truly amazing. This is an illustration of how far the left will go. I don't know if you saw the recent video of some campus where this lady is tearing up pro-Kavanaugh posters and yelling and screaming obscenities. I mean, this hysteria on the left is incredible. And I mean, I'm sure there are some crazy people on the right also, but where are they? You know, the left is just gone bonkers. So they arrested this Jackson Costco, 27-year-old, a Democratic congressional intern. Okay, he was working for guess who? Jackson Lee, Sheila Jackson Lee, Democrat of Texas. Oh, nutty representative. Okay, and so this guy, this is called doxing. And so what he did is he got into top secret servers, privileged servers, or into the personal information areas on the federal government computers, and posted to Wikipedia the private information, personal information of Lindsey Graham, Mike Lee, and Orrin Hatch. So all three of those are representatives who sit on the Judiciary Committee. And he posted it to their Wikipedia pages. Okay, this is illegal. This is criminal. Okay, so this is called doxing. When you go and search and find someone you're mad at, you find personal information about them and you put it on the internet. Okay, so this is the latest. And it looks like there's two other Democrats who are going. And it looks like Rand Paul's information is going to be posted. So this is a huge no-no, okay? And I'm so glad they caught this guy, and it looks like they might catch two other people. I mean, the Democrats will do anything. They will do anything to try to get their way. Yell and scream. They'll put personal information that they're not even supposed to have access to or use for nefarious purpose, and they'll just take that information and stick it on the internet. I mean, it's like, it doesn't matter what they do. It's like the media, the leftist media, and it's like they've given them the excuse to just act out, to wear pink hats on their head, to take their tops off, to run around naked, whatever. It's like the left is to beat people with sticks, to beat them up. There is just this hysteria is unbelievable. Watch out. When the left loses an election, they lose everything. Okay, it's like they worship the government. Okay, they have nothing else to fall back on. They're left with nothing. They get very mad and hateful. I remember when I was going to the Charleston rally up in Charleston, West Virginia, when Donald Trump came in, I think like last month. And there were protesters, a few of them there. They're all fenced in. And we had to walk the gauntlet before we could get in the arena. We had to walk right past them. There were fences, there were lots of security. Felt pretty safe. But I did walk close to the fence, and I saw this one guy with this, Trump is full of hate sign. And I walked right up to the fence and right up to him, and I looked right into his eyes, and I said, there is no hate here. There is no hate. There is no hate. And I looked right at him, and he looked at me, and he kind of just looked down. I mean, I think he was just a paid protester. I don't think he was really even into it. But I just wanted to illustrate to him that, this is not about hate. This is about love. So, I don't know. So anyhow, this is an interesting story from Fox News about James Baker. Boy, there are lots of James Bakers out there. This was an FBI lawyer, a top one, who helped get the FISA probe and things. And so he gave testimony to congressional investigators. And he's saying that the Russian probe with Robert Mueller has been handled in abnormal fashion. And it's reflecting a political bias. Okay. So anyhow, Mark Meadows spilled the beans on this. And he said some of the things that were shared were explosive in nature. This witness confirmed that things were done in an abnormal fashion. That's extremely troubling. So the Mueller probe goes on. There are these rumors, there are these witnesses who are saying this is not a fair process. Of course, Donald Trump will just latch onto this, and rightly so. Okay, this has been, I don't think you could disagree that this has been a witch hunt. What is really going on here? Every step along the way to this spying on his campaign was truly amazing. Okay, much worse than Watergate. Spying on his campaign. And anyhow, so that continues to go forward a little bit. I wanted to mention this Amazon story. This got some press, and Bernie Sanders was all excited because Amazon says that they're going to raise their minimum wage, okay, to $15 an hour. And Bernie Sanders said, "Oh, Jeff Bezos, this is great. Thanks so much. I hope other corporations will do this and follow suit." And so, but anyhow, if you look at the details of this, they raised the minimum wage to $15 per hour. But they also Amazon slashed stock options and incentive-based bonuses. Okay, so anyhow, there's a little bit of a publicity stunt, but Bernie Sanders kind of got caught in it. So I guess Jeff Bezos is trying to keep the liberals happy and have a minimum wage. Hey, I'm all for corporations paying their employees as much money as they can to keep them and to reward them for their hard work. But this minimum wage kind of attitude where no matter what you're building, no matter how hard you work, you have to make a certain amount of money is very dangerous. And of course, when the government implements minimum wages like Puerto Rico did, I think it was $15 an hour in Puerto Rico. I can't remember how high they raised the minimum wage. I think this was a few years ago. This was catastrophic to Puerto Rico. These businesses could not afford to pay their employees this kind of money in that culture there at Puerto Rico. The little territory is just not rich enough for that. And anyhow, a lot of jobs were lost. And that's the bottom line. When you raise the minimum wage, it is a job killer. Okay, someone who wants to just get a entry-level job doing something really menial. I mean, the employer might not be able to afford $15 an hour. So this is a job killer. It's ridiculous. I really hate these minimum wage laws. Let the businesses pay their employers whatever they want. Can you believe this is so socialistic that the government's bossing these private companies around how much they can pay their workers? This is very invasive. I hate it. If you're not getting paid very much at a job, you quit and you go to some other place. Okay, so that's how it should work. All right. Well, I'm pretty excited about this vote. I want to get my free McDonald's lunch from my buddy. Well, we will see. I wanted to close with a scripture from Matthew chapter 28. In verse 1, in the end of the Sabbath, as it began to dawn towards the first day of the week, came Mary Magdalene and the other Mary to see the sepulchre. And behold, there was a great earthquake, for the angel of the Lord descended from heaven and came and rolled back the stone from the door and sat upon it. His countenance was like lightning, and his raiment white as snow. And for fear of him the keepers did shake, and became as dead men. And the angel answered and said unto the women, Fear not ye, for I know that you seek Jesus, which was crucified. He is not here, for he is risen. As he said, Come, see the place where the Lord lay. Those are probably the coolest words in Scripture. He is risen. That Jesus Christ was resurrected after he died. That is the gospel of Jesus Christ, that truth. Well, thank you so much for listening. This is Philip Koerper, This is the Philip Koerper Show, copyright 2018. You can find this podcast on iTunes and SoundCloud and at my website, philkoerper.com. I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks. Bye.